Francesca's saying she's logged in. There she is.
Are we here? Everyone, Oregon? Present?
This door closed. You go to go.
Hi.
Miguel Martinez and Francesca's online. So go to item number 3, deferrals, additions, or deletions. Order of business. If you have anything? No. Oh, Francesca's muted. She's on.
I just asked her to unmute.
Yeah.
Hey, I am muted because I'm at the hospital. You're gonna hear a lot of background noise, but I'll just chime in when, when I need to.
Do you have any order of business? Do you have any additions or deletions?
I do not.
Moving on. Public comments.
Doesn't look like anyone else is there.
Officer, care for anything? Share anything?
Well, I'd like to say I'm so happy to be here.
We have a guest will be joining us. He was the previous chair, Dr. David Bennett. He has a great deal of knowledge and background information of the issue. He was the chair before I was on the original board. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great honor.
You want to share any of your wealth of knowledge?
Not really. There's, I mean, once again, you more than adequately filled my shoes.
Thank you.
So that wasn't the issue. I guess I'm just curious, what the status is of well, I guess it'll be in the minutes, what the status of the lawsuit is, if you can share anything with us.
Well, the lawsuit is now private. It's not through the town.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The town doesn't have standing.
Fascinating.
Reason being is that a municipality cannot sue the state for the actions of the type of case that it would turn into, it would evolve. In other words,
Is it sovereign immunity issue? Is that what that's about?
no,
You just didn't have standing, huh?
the issue is that the statute has removed the ability to sue in court. And that's unconstitutional. It's in the Florida Constitution.
Right.
However, if a municipality were to take action against the state, it goes to the DOA process. It doesn't go to court. So the action would be moot.
Right.
So the attorneys felt that the case would be is a good possibility to be thrown out.
Yeah.
So they went through a private avenue.
Just brilliant, man. I'll tell you that in 2000, what a mess.
Oh, no, it was written genius. I give all the credit.
Well, once again, you had a bunch of attorneys got together and decided how to insulate themselves from any further lawsuits that they lost. Well, actually, they
They
settled.
did an incredible job. Nonetheless, welcome.
Thank you.
You've jumped into the fire, I can tell you that right now.
Good to know.
All right, with that, public comments closed, adoption of minutes,
The motion to adopt the minutes.
a second, all in favor? Edwin, you're the secretary now, so you gotta keep the notes and remember.
Okay.
Francesca, any comments for the minutes?
No, can I vote?
I don't.
I'm thinking you can do remote.
Yeah, you can vote remotely.
Make a comment, though.
Okay, well, I have no comments. I thought they were fine.
Okay.
I would say, well, I would. That'd be my comment.
All right, so, all in favor? Aye. Item number 6. Old business, pilot program stats. I think the goal, we've beaten this, topic, I think, quite a bit. Hopefully we can get this, finalized and approved and move forward with it.
Okay.
Where are you at with the final, revisions?
The final changes that we made last month, I think we can share it on the screen. So,
Yes.
we added an additional sheet just to showcase the story that some blasts do create complaints and some blasts don't. So the second sheet only illustrates that portion of just that, just the PPVs by blast, if a blast was found a complaint or if it wasn't. it didn't have
So
a-
you're able to isolate the complaints per
Yeah.
blast and so we have a threshold, in other words.
Mhm.
I think that's huge.
And I think this is like a step one, I guess, like of analysis. Everything else was more of just what they gave us.
Observational, all right.
There's a big second page. The numbers haven't changed, everything stayed, no, this is the different one, I think it's a different email. Should be the last email I sent you, if you just put final in your search, or I could send it to you.
no, this is the final.
Yeah,
How come
let's
final
not
one? Is
the-
there a different one?
On the email, it says final, like the email title.
That one doesn't have the vertical lines that we had.
Yeah.
Start with.
Yeah, this is different.
So, so you know what's happening. This is actually stats from the pod program, directly from them. And what we've done is Edwin has created a summary of the blast. And it recognizes that a threshold when the complaints begin to engage the program. And prior to that, that the PPV value prior, that there is no complaints. So that's a telltale sign of where we should be.
Is this by the Raspberry seismograph?
No, this
Let me know.
is the state, the
The
state's.
states that
yeah.
Seismograph.
These are the official, not the official ones. So the official ones report.
Yeah.
X, and this is the state's version of it.
Yeah.
So we actually can compare the two readings. And we have found, but that we're not addressing that here, discrepancies between the two.
Hmm.
Which is what we've always claimed that the readings that they're being given are false. And this program shows that. However, this is just a summary of complaints with the readings from the state.
Is that it?
The intent of this is gonna be placed on a town's website.
Okay.
So we've been massaging it, manipulating it, so for clarity's sake.
I'd love to have a text message go out every time a blast goes and let him just go ahead and respond. Did you feel that? Yes or no?
That'd be nice, with a link to the pod program.
Yeah.
From here, I guess like I think the main change that we can see once that image is put up. We'll be actually be looking at the bottom left-hand corner, that total blast by PPV. That graph is basically gonna be allocated by which were blast with a complaint and which ones didn't have a complaint. So you'll be able to see like by PPV, like what percentage or what groups had more complaints than others.
Is the legal limit still 0.5?
Yeah.
That's the legal limit.
Yeah, but as far as them blasting and something else happening after that, I don't know. Like what happens if it goes 0.6 or 0.20 or 0.2?
Well, it gets, I mean, I guess it gets just reported, but.
Yeah.
You know. It's like no harm, no foul kind of thing.
That's it. Okay, very good.
Sorry.
That's fine. So
Okay.
on the top left-hand corner, you'll see that total blast by PVV. So the one in the I guess pink was not found. So that means there was no complaints found for that blast. So when you look at an average, you'll be able to see a little bit more of a understanding. So on the bottom left and the bottom right, you'll see like the difference. On the bottom left, you'll find the blast with complaints found, and on the bottom right, you'll find blasts with complaints not found. So the ones that are not found, you'll see the average, which is in the black line, is like about 0.16, 0.18. So that means that the blast did not cause any complaints. Versus the one on the left, which is blast with complaints, you'll see that we're at 0.24, 0.23 at an average. So at least like the data is showing that there is a difference. The data that the mining companies are giving us also does show that, it does show that their PPVs that are lower do have a general less complaints throughout the years. The downside to this, what you're seeing is that if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, you see blast complaints not found. That number is going down
How are complaints registered?
through the website, through the state website.
State website,
So if the person doesn't put in the complaint,
they don't even know what to call the state, most people.
I need to, which I thought we had discussed last time, to state found and not found, it really doesn't make sense when you're reading it to the outside person. I think you get it because you did all this. To give it merit, we need to say, complaint and not, something more to, what is it? Complaint and a non-complaint.
Okay.
A complaint made and not made, maybe that, maybe that's,
more like
Interesting.
easy to understand.
yeah, complaint,
looking for negative.
made, not made. I think that'll give the good
If you're
summary.
trying to statistically place a negative, that's kind of hard to do.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I think
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you guys mid-explanation, but Noah, can you email those attachments to me? Because I can't see,
Yeah,
like you're not sharing your screen, so I can't see what's going on.
yeah, I'll send this over.
Okay, thank you.
One key thing to keep in mind is that, what I've seen in the mining industry is that the state doesn't really get involved with the mining industry. It's
No.
not something that,
that is the problem.
well, it's not something that just occurs in Miami or Florida or United States, it's across the world. So it's not something that like, they're new to this,
Right.
like. The mining company, as soon as that mining CEO has a bad reputation, he's gonna have a hard time getting into other cities, getting things approved.
Right.
So, but that has nothing to do with the state or nothing to do with the government saying, hey, you know what, this is a bad industry here. That's really up to the citizens of that city to figure it out with the mining company.
What happens is when a mining company,
Does it get bad Google reviews? I mean,
Yeah, that's all they need, basically. Some bad reviews somewhere.
Okay, but
It's
that's all
bad
I
reviews.
when they find a new location that were to create a mine, they give a major donation to the municipality that they're going into. And that's what they're looking at, the municipality wise, and that kind of mutes all other comments on it. But as an example, White Rock is a international company. And if you follow them, that's the same complaints against them across the globe.
But is White Rock, isn't White Rock basically like the government? Like,
No.
like,
No,
don't they
private.
bid for contracts and they get contracts for the state?
It's a privately held company.
Yeah,
private.
but they bid for
contract.
contracts that they also supply their
Limestone.
the things that they need to complete that contract. So it's like a fee, like they bid for a
Right.
contract that has nothing to do with the cement or the gravel, but they use that to supply. And
Correct.
that specifically goes to infrastructure for the state.
Correct. Which is why Fabrizio's bill is puts the onus on the state because they're the number one consumer of the product. Then they ought to take responsibility of what's happening. That's exactly the onus of the bill.
Okay.
The other thing is, these stats are not the official legislative official source of the blast. The official source is what the miners provide. So the argument when this group was, not the group, but the pilot program was created, was a testament that everybody claimed that the readings that were being provided to the state were false. Because blasts would be felt catastrophic blast and they reported a 0.2. There's no way that was a 0.2. So that was the onus of how the pilot program was created. It'd be nice to see, and I have a few readings where they were at 0.7 pilot program reading, and the official blast record was 0.3. There's no way you can have that kind of discrepancy. And those are the type of things that were discovered with this system. That's going back historically, over years. I don't know if you have that ability or not, but that's very damning on what's happening and the neglect, in my opinion, that the state is doing, that they have the science, they have the data, and it's not being applied. However, I can attest that when they do exceed limits or approach it, they are given a phone call and they pull their ear, hey, you did this. Oh, sorry, but there's no repercussions when it does happen. What you've done is to create a cause and effect, if you will, of responsive complaint to level of intensity, which is the PPV value. And I think this aids incredibly when we're looking at what level is proper to defend what the mining companies do. So we could say everything fades off at 0.15, anything below, knock yourself out. Anything above, hold up.
Yes,
And that is by their own stats. Which is what Fabricio's original bill stated, was to lower the legal limit to 0.15, and that won't bother anybody. So I think it's very damning in the data you created, assembly of the data you created.
it's thanks to them, they're the ones giving us the data. Like, this is the mining companies giving us the data.
Well, they're
Well,
required
not
by
this.
law.
Well, from the,
This is the pilot program, that the mining company's data is the official data. And sometimes contradicts this. For the most part, that they fall into play, for the most of it. But they're contradict what the state's recording.
I did in the next meeting, I'll choose one blast as an example, like blast that impacted in my house. But it also impacted other people, but there was no blast occurred, which is the weird part to me. Maybe it's something that like they just able to blast a different number and I couldn't pick it up. Maybe they put an L or something. But there is a blast where I complained, and other people complained at the same time, but there was no blast.
Okay.
That's
that-
air pressure?
No, what you're talking about, then the actual official report was not submitted to the state.
Or something like that.
So the blast, quote unquote, didn't exist.
That's why when I look at PPVs or thresholds or the science behind like how to lower it, it goes back to that. Well, it could just be a error that they made
Right.
by hand, and then what's the point of going to them when they can just come back and say that, oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
It's
And I do have knowledge it's happened, but I don't have the dates to prove it, otherwise. But if the complaint were filed and no official report was submitted, there you have it.
no. I'll bring that example next time.
But I think for what we're looking for the state, I mean, for the municipality's website, Town of Miami Lakes website, I think that's the only thing I would just say, is to change that header.
Something to be,
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm satisfied with that. Francesca, you have any comments with that? Viewer?
Is she still there?
She might be busy with
yeah,
doctors.
she's in the hospital.
I don't know, is she still there? Is she on?
Let me take a look. Oh, no, she's not moving.
All right, do you have any other comments? No? The gentleman, you have anything to say? We value your opinion as an outsider, put it that way. Because that's who this thing is eventually going to, the layperson, reading and understanding what we're doing.
Well, on my end,
Yeah.
every once in a while, we'll have a conversation somewhere like at the gas station, and then people start talking about the blasting. And then it's always, well, do you know that the town of Miami Lakes has a committee and there's things that are, there's gears that are moving. And every time it's, oh, no, I didn't know that. So I do see that. I don't, it's not,
Right.
oh, yeah, I know that, and, we're active, whatever. No, I didn't know that.
They all,
Well, you should look into it because, go to the website, there's a little explanation and, but you check them out. But that town does have something, so if you wanna, jump on that, and then, the conversation
Right.
goes, kind of withers off from there. But I do tell you that usually that's the case. It's not that they know that something's happening.
Right.
they all think it's the new mall.
Yeah, yes, it's, yeah. talk-
Everyone that, if you feel that
Yeah.
vibration, new mall.
Yeah, yeah.
And it hasn't been. The 555 are having a little issue, so.
So for me, my vote would be if you update that that title. I would say to release this for publication. I think if you can update it, send it to Noah, you'll get a final check, you know, that it's done. So we can publicize this, right?
I'll make that jump.
All right, Tallahassee trip. The Tallahassee trip, if you guys aren't aware yet, it was exhaustive.
Thing.
Shocking, especially since I was there, by myself on it. I had Stephen Herzberg's guidance, was tremendous. These are all the offices that I visited. Now, I'm mentioning all this, because something well, item number C on 7C for the presentation to the council, which we're gonna get into. However, as far as the trips to Tallahassee, like I said, we went down the list. Stephen Herzberg had sent a list of representatives that he wanted to visit. That was supposedly sent to our lobbyists, and not one comment came back with any meetings. So I grabbed that list and I went knocking door to door. Literally. With that, I was able to get a meeting with the chair of the first committee. Tracy Coster, Rep. Tracy Coster, and who hadn't put it on the agenda to Fabricio's bill. If you're not aware, if they don't put it on the agenda, it's dead in the water before anything happens. If it does get on the agenda, it can be discussed, reviewed, denied or approved with comments to move on to the next committee. If no committee, if it doesn't get placed on the agenda, no committee even sees it or hears it, which is what's happened in every one of Fabricio's bill. So I met with, what was her name? Robin Bartleman, it's a co-sponsor on it, that she's a Democrat as well, so this is bipartisan support on a bill. And Bartleman was explaining how frustrating it is on common sense bills, common sense laws that don't go through. This is one of them. So the people that are supporting this, they're all sharing the frustration that it gets dead in the water. Now, Rep. Tracy Coster, the chair, Stephen and I met with her, Stephen Herzberg met with her, and she was very interested in the lawsuit. The reality is, if the lawsuit, if the bill were to be approved, the lawsuit becomes mute and can be canceled, because the lawsuit creates the same result as the bill. So it was an interesting avenue. She was highly interested in what the complaint is of the lawsuit. So Stephen Herzberg emailed it to her. And unfortunately, I watched the last, there was only one meeting left for her, and I watched it, and Fabricio actually presented another one of his bills, was in that same committee, but not our bill. So that's dead in the water. I do not know what her take is on the complaint for the lawsuit. I haven't spoken to Herzberg yet about that. So hopefully we'll get some insight. Now, that being said, we use Tom Fabricio's office as home base. We're back and forth in his office. And in one of the trips to his office, he suggested, or he asked if we would meet with the lobbyists of the miners. And we're like, well, we haven't. So he set up a meeting, and we have a meeting with the lobbyists of the miners in their office. And the mining, it's the mining association. So it's the general group of miners. They're lobbyists. When we entered, the gentleman's hello to us is like, this isn't about White Rock, is it? I'm like, actually it is. He says, yeah, they're like the problem child that nobody wants, quote unquote. They're aware that they give problems. He goes, they don't listen to us. He goes, everybody else, whenever a problem occurs, we can, advise and kind of like a cease and desist whenever there's an issue approaching. But White Rock doesn't do that. They don't listen. Guys, we still are like, well, there's the problems.
Is Miguel de Grande still their attorney, you know?
Was that?
Miguel de Grande, is that still their attorney?
Yeah, but that's their
White Rock,
White Rock itself.
yeah, I know, that's.
This is we're talking about the
here.
association now.
I just understand what repercussions does it have for White Rock, the miners, whatever that you meant.
The lobbyists, right.
The lobbyists against the miners. I mean, they're bad.
Right, so this is,
And that's it.
that's what the problem is. This is the association. So their client is the group of miners at a whole. There really isn't any process or anything other than you and I are in disagreement. Don't do that anymore. Okay,
Bad boy. That's it.
right. That's all that they have the power to do. It's nice when everybody works together. It would be nicer if the lobbyists, if they're trying to get a want and ask of sort, and you're pissing people off, then theoretically your job's gonna become that much more difficult because you're
Okay.
not gonna have.
Hypothetically. So White Rock sells their product to the state of Florida, correct?
White Rock, I'm sorry, say it again?
White Rock sells their product to the state of Florida.
Right.
Why can't they buy their limestone from other vendors and boycott, or shall we say boycott, just not purchase from White Rock until they comply? I mean, where is the purchasing power purchasing the limestone? And who's deciding which contract to accept? Find out who that person is and see if that's somebody that you can,
Right, that's under FDOT. FDOT is purchasing grade A lime rock, which is what's being produced in this area.
Is it available in other areas?
Not that I'm aware of.
It's probably gonna be more expensive to get
And,
in other
right,
areas.
it'll be more expensive. I think that overheard, if I remember correctly, from Canada, they're bringing it in. So obviously this is the cheapest thing because it's local. And
Well, is it
aside
all
from,
being used in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County?
The what?
Is it all being worked in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties? Is that where it's being used?
It's
the rest of
being
the
used in
state?
southeast of the US.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So,
So,
I mean, the fact that it's these one few mines. So my question again is, our Florida DOT, is only gonna buy Florida. So
Right.
if we can find out who they're purchasing from, and in what amounts, and for that matter, price per ton,
right,
well, then we might be able to, shall we say, talk with DOT, says, can we purchase this rock instead
That's-
of this rock for a period of time?
that's where Fabricio bills come in.
I hope.
That's exactly it. That the state should share some responsibility of what's occurring. Because
Yeah,
they're
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 profiting from it.
the ultimate
Oh, yeah, whatever.
fault
Yeah,
of where this rock is going to.
Yeah.
So Fabricio's bill is putting forward, which obviously is not being received nicely. If there's any complaint, any issues with a property, that you can just follow a claim like an insurance claim. Again, there'll be a process, it gets inspected, and the state then will compensate you for your repairs.
yeah. What was that, idea we were thinking about, like the neonatal doctors and all
right.
that? I forgot, where we came up with something.
Um,
Basically,
Nick,
NICU or something, yeah, where it's, you have, for every ton of rock, they contribute a certain amount to this pool. Out of that pool, legitimate claims can be paid.
Right.
And and all the miners share in the pool, and it's becomes negligible.
that's mid-middle, right,
I mean, we came up with that before, that was one of our suggestions
yes.
on our VAB last time, and it's, like anything else, it died before it got up there.
Maybe there's more traction now, and maybe it'd be,
Well, maybe,
because-
maybe reintroduce them,
Yeah.
because that way it's a no fault, we don't blame any of the mining companies. It's all contributed like always, and the repairs are made. You just have to be able to make up some type of system to determine that the repairs were directly caused by. The thing, what's it called again, proximal cause.
Probably like now that taxes are gonna be taken away, maybe it's like more of a reason to do something, because right now, like if you're suffering from impacts, first thing they do is if they send somebody to your house to evaluate your impacts so that they
Yeah.
can reduce your taxes.
you need to have somebody specifically trained in seismic damage, first of all. But that's the basis for this, Fabricio's bill. So if you make a claim that my house has damage, an inspector has to go see the house
Correct.
and look for seismic damage, because it could be settlement damage, it could be construction defects, it could be a lot of different things, a combination thereof. But the seismic damage, and somebody take responsibility for this.
It has very specific characters. We uncovered that. The very, that there's a difference between settling and seismic damage. You can distinguish the two.
So if that could happen, like I said, then everything is moot on the, for the lawsuit, because that takes over. And, you know, that's what we need. Okay, you wanna coexist, fix my repair, repair my damage.
And then what,
Okay, I guess like it would have to be new repairs, I guess, like how would you would prove that was like an older 7-year-old, 10-year-old damage?
Seismic damage, specific.
So-
yeah,
It's not settlement, the cracks, believe it or not, there's a science behind cracks. So this is specific to seismic damage cracks.
and no, what do you call it, no insurance claims within the period, was it 5 years, we can
Right.
decide or 75, I guess. In other words, if there was no insurance claims within the 5 years, allegedly, if it was supposed to be repaired or whatever,
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
and I wish, yeah.
So State Rep Fabricio, as Felicia didn't come today, but as far as I was mentioning or alluding to, Fabricio's bill's dead in the water. That first committee didn't hear the bill, so it didn't even get the opportunity to be debated, heard, or discussed, nothing, instead. Something very frustrating for everybody. And it is fair to mention, Fabricio gave me his word when he was campaigning that he would do this, and he's done it every session.
Yeah, gets three a year or something like that, and he always puts it on, yeah, he's true to his word, it's just we can't get any traction. The other thing I was thinking, if. I wonder if it's, no, I guess it wouldn't be, because it can't get it through the first committee.
What's that?
Well, as I said, getting his bill through the first committee to go to the next, I guess the first one's gonna be, is it insurance or is it finance? What's the first committee it hit first?
Finance.
Finance, yeah.
It's actually, the first committee was civil justice.
Oh, really?
It's justice and claims. It's a subcommittee.
Oh,
That's what it was.
that's a new one for me, I don't know that one.
Yeah, I think last time when I saw a video of the state talking about the blasting, they said that the quarries that are here in that impact us, they have like maybe they have a 20-year life remaining.
Yeah.
So from here to 20 years, that might go really fast.
Yeah.
So it's like they're gonna be putting a lot of work
Yeah.
for it to go away.
Yeah.
That's also like
Yeah, I know.
how much work do you wanna put in?
Well, unfortunately, my house literally is the highest place in Miami Lakes. I'm 11.6 feet or 12.2 feet above sea level. So I'm the last one to feel the vibrations, but I do get them sometimes.
You also get the most movement, though.
Well, I get the P waves,
Yeah.
I don't get the S waves so much, I get the P waves.
I get the headaches.
Well, that's
right here.
That's
that's
what you're
the
married,
ultra low
man.
frequency. No, but that's the ultra low frequency.
Yeah, I get it right here,
Exactly.
right here.
Yes, because that's called the mastoid bone, and there are air pockets in there, and when the air compression comes in, it causes a compression expansion, and that causes like a migraine headache.
Yeah. Like I go to get my hearing tested,
Mhm.
and the doctor's like, "You're fine. I can hear all these vibrations."
Yeah. Yeah, the mastoid air cells, that's where people, they always can tell the weather when pressure drops and things like that.
That's me. I got a bad knee.
Well, same thing,
Yeah,
that's a
right.
fluid filled pocket then.
Yeah.
So what happens when the pressure changes, the fluid, you sense a change in air and pressure. It's weird.
It
but That's
hurts.
what it is, yeah. Well,
All right, so moving on, 7A, new business. If you guys aren't aware or not aware, the last council meeting, Mayor Diegas put a recommendation. This is a move to discuss and consider dissolution of the Blasting Advisory Board in accordance with town's authority over advisory committees due to changes in circumstances that limit its ability to fulfill its original purpose. So he's trying to shut this down.
Well, tell them the other complaint, not enough Miami Lake citizens. Specifically for that purpose.
Well, you live in Miami Lakes.
Well, not really, live outside.
Oh, you.
So that's why I'm here. And I'm trying to find other people who wanna join, but like I said, it's, it's a matter of public participation. It's hard these days.
Yeah,
You've seen our charter commission that we're changing the actual constitution of the town. And there's nobody there, and we only have one or two people call in. It's hilarious to me.
that's crazy.
I mean, it's, and.
So,
I can't go into it.
one of the things that he mentioned was that he was in disagreement of what
They
we've
want somebody
done
else to
for
do it.
marketing. Buying the pens and keychains,
Who said that, sir?
what was that?
Who said that?
Mayor Diegas.
Yeah, he was upset about that waste of the money, campaigns.
Yeah. And I wholeheartedly disagree. And it's, there are other things, other means of doing things, agreed, but as far as the ROI, to spend $1 to allow me to go and cold call somebody, confront somebody, offer them a pen, and hey, do you know about us? I got their attention. So he didn't have an understanding of this, and I had mentioned
May never have it marketed.
about
anything.
2 months ago at a council meeting regarding this, because he had made comments of it. It's the same as in branding with the liquor. You know, if you think of, if you see a Clydesdale, you automatically think of Budweiser, whether you drink Budweiser or not. That's what comes to mind. You know, the Beck's, you think of the Key. It's branded. So it's a matter of getting in your face over and over and over, because that's how humans work. He obviously doesn't agree with that methodology, or doesn't see the benefit of it. I disagree. If there are other means, yeah, but cost effectiveness, we don't have the budget for it. So, you know, we can get a Goodyear blimp going over the town, how the police officers giving out, magnets with our name on it. There's other things, but that costs a lot of money. So we're limited to our budget, and I totally disagree with the mayor. I mentioned this,
We should have a budget. We didn't have a budget.
correct, which I'm
We had
getting into.
0 and we were able to get it done.
Previously, there was 0 budget allocated to this, and the members actually donated money and services.
Yes, we did.
I mean, when I became the chair, just to print out the flyers, we had several members donate reams of paper, and I printed in my office.
Does he know that?
For the flyers.
Does he know that? Does the mayor know that?
No.
No. I'm only saying because.
He knows it now.
Well, no.
So I don't think it's fair for his comments. I don't think they're proper. And I
Well,
would love.
fortunately, it was voted down unanimously pretty much, so.
How creative has
Him and his-
has the marketing been since? How creative? Like, has it always been like just from budgets?
Budget for the town has always been,
Or has it been like you guys have utilized or we've utilized county resources?
we use a lot, in the beginning, we utilized our own resources
Yeah.
across the board. I remember I used to bring water. You were gonna bring Pastelitos in. What happened with that?
I didn't get there in time. They closed by the time I got there.
That's why Millie came today, by the way.
Yeah, I always go.
I apologize.
But he used to bring in water for everybody. It was that
Something,
something,
yeah.
when we started.
Burn cigars too.
And, yeah, that's-
The budget that you get is insignificant compared to the other committees. So it's like-
As far as budget, the mining industry are lobbying millions and millions, putting up against what, a couple of grand or something?
and the argument for the marketing is like $300. It's nothing.
Really, $300?
So I think that's not proper. Again,
Like, I think it is improper, but it is, I can understand, I'm putting myself in shoes. Be like, if I would be saying that, what could I say, to defend them?
to defend it,
Yeah,
right?
so in my head is more like the creativity. If you have a low budget, how creative were you to get money or utilize other resources? That's what I'm saying,
Sales
like-
next, right?
But the point that you brought up, was that people don't know about the blasting, or anything that's going on, or any efforts. And,
We have done a number of events.
and like, to me,
We
like,
had a website out now for what, almost 9 years, 8 years now?
the one thing that gets to people, because all people don't have cell phones. All people, it's not allowed to have a cell phone. But people live in a house, right? So in my head, like, documents that come already to the people's houses are, property appraiser, data, property appraiser, taxes,
Right.
So in my head, it's like, there's already a letter going out to everybody's house relating to their home,
But that's money, that's more
right?
than 300.
But it's more like, why can't we just like try to piggyback out of that?
Right.
Like,
So what you're referring to is out of the county, first of all.
yeah,
Um,
different outside of here.
however, there is a Miami Lakes app. And we have utilized that, and that's where your
Yeah,
stats.
yeah, but it's the same thing as like the people don't have access to it. Like the regular person's not gonna have access. They're not gonna spend time. If they don't spend time complaining, putting in the complaint on the website, they're not gonna have time to look for resources or be told about the resources.
Well, that, I mean, we can choose to turn a blind eye to everything. So obviously those type of persons, it's irrelevant to put any effort into helping those people because they choose not to see anything.
Well,
Once
until a nice little step crack shows up in their house and then they patch it and then it comes back and they don't understand why.
Right. One of the things that the lobbyist told us, he says, come on, guys, everybody complains about stucco cracks. And I was biting my tongue. That's, this was Stephen Hertzberg's conversation, and I'm like, there's a difference, sir. You obviously don't know or understand what a seismic damage is and what's the correlation behind it. Yes, stucco cracks, cement cracks. There's thermal expansion. There's different types of issues why these cracks will happen, but not seismic damage. That's specific. And we don't live on a fault. There is no earthquakes. There is nothing here creating this. There's a source to it. And if we present all the background information, I wasn't there to argue with the guy. But this is the stance that they take.
Plus, by the way, the 0.5 ppb was based on a strata which was totally different than what we're on. We're on water saturated strata. And if you know anything about liquids, it is incompressible, which means the blast wave where it starts impacts the exact same intensity from its origin as it does to your house. As opposed to attenuating waves, which would go through the, like say, granite, it would attenuate out, eventually die off. Doesn't happen when you have a liquid foundation. That's hydraulics.
I've never heard of a leak, maybe that's why I feel it.
Oh, you feel
Well,
hard.
it dips down. No, you're right, because once
Yes.
again, the wave goes down and bounces back up. Remember, you have your P waves and your S waves. The S is the sliding wave, and that's what causes the damage. The P wave just kind of gets your attention.
And you also have the air pressure, which air pressure is it's actually swelling our homes.
Yeah.
Literally like a drum expanding it, and that's what causes your cracks in your driveway.
Yeah, the
So
vents around the roof can't handle the pressure change rapidly enough
Right.
to compensate.
So these are all specific damages that are brought in by seismic. To be able to discuss these things with somebody, it's a simple pen. Hey, check it out. You're interested in the pen, but it gives me the opportunity, any of us, to present and discuss this. So getting back to what Mayor's comments, that's what it overcomes for us. It gives us a foot in the door. Fortunately, it was, and I made a statement, I made comments, I presented at the council meeting that this committee is not designed to be permanent. It's not designed to be forever. It's not the other committees of the town. We have a task. And until we accomplish it, until we get to a goal,
That's the answer.
then there's no reason to be discussing the termination of it.
Exactly, that was my argument too. You see, it's designed to solve a problem. The problem isn't solved, therefore there's a need for the committee in case new information comes through to be funneled and advise the town council accordingly. So it shouldn't be terminated because the problem was not resolved. If any of those bills pass or any of the lawsuits or whatever, or even some type of compromise, and it's acceptable, well, there you are, then the committee has now outlived its usefulness.
Right.
Because-
I mean, it can be discussed if another avenue can come around at that point, or we terminate, we're done. We did our job.
Yeah.
But not at this point. So fortunately, the rest of the council agreed with what I'm saying, and they all made motions for their own standing.
Yep.
And the motion was denied. 6-1.
No, two, it was
Or no.
Morea.
Ryan Morea?
I think he voted with the mayor.
2, so it was
I
2
think
to
it's
2 to
two,
4.
There were so many members that were part of the board, right?
4 of them.
Yeah, so like they kind of knew what the vote was gonna lean towards.
Right. four of them, and, one member was our first meeting that our first presentation that we gave in his office. Before the committees even existed,
Right.
so, and he was also very, assisting.
And also, in case you don't know, they just, on the charter board, they decided to reduce the number of councilmen from 7 to 5.
Is that going through?
It's gonna be voted on. Once again, everything we do goes on a ballot, 10 questions, and the people can vote yes or no on the questions. Once they have the final language, then we'll go ahead and see if it's acceptable or not. In other words, we'll have to come out and campaign against it if you don't
Right.
like it. But the idea of going from 7 to 5 concentrates the power, because now all you need is 3 votes to get things done as opposed to 4 votes. It's your majority. And by doing that, it gives the mayor that much more power. Also, in the charter, they're also changing words shall to may. That weakens the charter, because shall means they have to do it. May means, yeah, I might do it, maybe I won't. But they're changing those deliberately to give more power to the mayor.
That's liability.
Gives them, so he can say, no, I may do it, I may not. And that's what's been happening, and I've been fighting it as best I can.
To me, like whenever I see the mayor and the way he talks, I don't know, he seems pretty nice and.
Oh, he's a nice guy, but that's not the
Very nice
point.
guy.
He's not, that's not the point. He's utilizing his office, in my opinion. He's utilizing his office to consolidate power. Okay, and the way you do that is you have fewer people disagree with you. That's how it works. Who knows?
It's a political game.
Who knows? I mean, once again, I've been doing this 20 years. I've seen them all come and go. You know, I was here for the entire Pizzi incident.
That was recent.
Never, it's 2013. It's already been 12 years since that happened.
Francesca.
Yes, welcome, Francesca.
Welcome back.
I see somebody talking. There's somebody in the room, maybe.
All right, so I want you guys to be aware of it, and at least my stance on the comments, that I think they're unjust. He posed it as a discussion,
Mhm.
and I think he got an earful of what, of it, which I appreciate that. And everybody put where they stand on the issue. So that being said, go to item number 7B, new member drive.
Mhm.
Now, I think before we continue to dilute this committee, we have a request. Somebody's online, yeah, we have a request,
Okay,
we
oh,
can reopen public comments.
Okay, maybe it's Josh.
No, it's Hope Reynolds.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
After, or evening, Hope.
Oh, good evening, Miguel. This is Esperanza Reynolds, 8465 Mentius Terrace. And I have 2 comments. I've been watching, my computer finally came back because it had crashed, but I've been watching the meeting and I have 2 comments. First, that is Dave Bennett, and he is from the, from the board that is doing the charter revision. And he needs to understand that most people are very upset about the fact that they get cut off mid-sentence, that the comments that they make are never dealt with. So most people have given up on going to meetings at town hall because of that. And with regards to what happens with the budget in your group, it is because when the word trinkets was used during a public comment, everybody kept on sending messages saying that it was like, why would they allow trinkets to be spent in the budget? So it is that behind the scenes, there were a lot of people complaining about the fact that we had spent money on trinkets. I just want you to understand. So then DA has picked up on that and attempted to do something, but I think that he did it in a way that it was just a little upsetting.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you for listening.
The
See you
trinket,
Thursday.
the trinket terminology, I used it because it's something insignificant by definition. If people look at that unfavorably,
Yeah,
It's their prerogative.
I would choose something like something that's impactful. That seems a little bit more effective, but that's okay.
But so be it. Edwin, just so you're aware of, I don't know if Doc is aware of, on public comments, I like to keep it more open. I've explained to Hope prior, because she's vented to me numerous times that she's in disagreement with the time limit that's given typically in the town chambers. My take, my stance, and as a committee, as the chair, that if somebody were to spend their time with us, then I will honor them and let them speak freely.
Well,
As I mentioned to her, if we had 50 people in the room, then we can't do that. And I will enforce, the 2-minute or 3-minute rule. But if not, please help, and we welcome it. As I force the officer to speak up.
Yeah. Yeah, once again, you can basically say opening public comments and second yourself and vote yourself, since, see, but you can't do that when you have a committee of 6 or 7. You have to make
Right.
the motion, it has to be seconded, then you gotta vote on it, and then the public comments are open. That's Robert's rules. That's the proper method. Which of course was not followed, but we won't discuss that right now.
So getting on to 7B, new member drive. We need, before the committee fizzles out, we need to generate some ideas to bring some people in, to give a hand. So I'll open the floor up. Any ideas, thoughts? Anything you have in mind with that?
Maybe I can ask teachers, you have any teachers?
A what?
Or any teacher in the area that is around here? I can ask that.
We need to get the word out. Francesca's not on.
Just out of curiosity. Science fair is coming up, right?
Who?
Science fair in high schools and all that?
It's usually March, but they already present by this time, I think.
I don't know. Let's find out. I was thinking, let's maybe sponsor a student to put together a presentation.
That'd be kind of cool.
So we go ahead and invite somebody. And, pictures with Tom Fabrizio and all that stuff about this, and at the high school level. Might be a.
You have more context for that.
Well, I was a teacher, but I'm a little bit, we're talking a little bit too long ago. I mean, I'd have
No,
to
with the
figure out,
schools,
I'd have to figure out. Yeah. Yeah, I think I got somebody.
That actually would be. a
Well, I'm
really-
just trying to
it's
say
real
that that's one way, and then of course, kids are always looking for science projects,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't stand the volcanoes, they get, after a while, they get.
No, but liquid action is a very simple thing to.
Well, once again, they can
That's
show
great.
that, they can do, remember those vibration tables we used to use,
Yeah.
to test things? So they can run the experiment and run the numbers and determine, 0.5 feet per second, 0.2, 0.3, and the effects on, I won't use Legos so much, but, I mean, once again, that's the only thing I can think of within a budgetary thing that possibly could get enough traction, especially if we can get, Thomas there to, shake hands with the student.
That'd be kind of cool.
That was my suggestion. I just don't know when the science fair is now. I know when's the Miami-Dade, don't they have the county fair coming up too in March?
It's for spring break, isn't it?
Is it
It's usually,
spring?
it's usually March and beginning of March, let me see.
I mean, it's gonna be too late, but at least as a lesson for the school. It doesn't have to necessarily be so formal as a competition or something, but
Well, it'd be nice because then parents are walking around seeing all the
Right.
projects, And
Well, at least it's-
I mean, when a volcano erupts, how about watching houses, shake apart?
get a real shake table going.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, if you want dramatic effect,
Yeah, like drama, video or movie or something.
you want to do dramatic effect. I mean, we can do the atomic blast showing overpressurization of a house. You can always show that. But I mean, that's all I can come up with within the budgetary needs that might get enough exposure. At least you would get the high school kids to do it, maybe the junior high school too. I don't know.
I like that idea.
I don't know what else I have. I don't think, I can't, that was a spontaneous thing. What do you got?
I think it's this one, right?
February 26th, I don't know, upcoming events.
In March.
Yeah.
Exhibits,
Exhibits,
checking
yeah.
youth fair is February 26th, yeah. And then youth fair security orientation, oh no, keep going.
Next
That's
week.
the projects and all that.
Yeah, but the check-in is done, orientation.
Youth fair orientation in March too. We got something going on here, youth fair. So it keeps going for a little bit.
So do we have any contacts with high schools?
Yeah, well, here,
Well, contact the science teachers and say,
I'll ask her.
over at Val Goldman or are they Drake might not, but Phil Bob Graham, I mean,
Bob Graham?
yeah.
Middle and high school, no?
Yeah.
Because now we're going into also the what do you call it, the engineering, mathematics,
The STEM.
the STEM. I mean, now we go into the STEM and that's, big thing now.
But if we could start there, if you, I mean, I'll be happy to talk to them, if you can get an intro.
Okay.
Like the physics teachers.
I think that'll be huge.
I can
That's
set
a
something up.
nice move.
And then we'll find out who their brilliant student who doesn't have a project yet.
Yeah.
We'll sponsor them.
I mean,
and help them out.
liquefaction is really easy to create, the test, the sample of it. There's a lot of
People
YouTube
can
videos.
understand.
Do you remember the old football games? You put the men on, you turn down the table and you vibrate, you watch the men move. I used to
That's
have one
going
of
back.
those.
That's going back.
Hey, I believe me, when I grew up, a baseball was the ultimate in gifts from.
Yeah.
You got a baseball, you were in.
I had a string in a box.
Yeah, I know.
All right, moving on to 7C, presentation to council. So if you recall, we were scheduled for January. Which doesn't make sense since we have no action yet until we go to Tallahassee. Now we've been to Tallahassee. So we have things to talk about. Noah, are you aware if this was a template, this was a previous presentation, I use it as a template for the council. It's a report that the committees are supposed to submit. I haven't seen them done anymore. Are we not doing this anymore?
I would have to check, 'cause I don't know. I can ask Isabella, she knows more
Okay,
about the committee side of things, so I could tell you tomorrow. Yeah.
all right, if you could check and find out, please.
Mhm.
That being said, whatever we create on this, if this is if we're to use the report, I would still use this anyway as a template. We need to vote on it and approve it. To be able to present it, because it's representing the committee. So we're not gonna have time before the next meeting. So we're gonna have to have a special call meeting, you know what, I didn't update the discussion for the meeting. So we're gonna have to review and approve this. So I'll need a few items. I don't have a problem recreating or creating this for this presentation. But we need a few items, and between Noah and Francesca are probably the source, and unfortunately she's not here, so no, we're gonna have to lean on you a bit. One thing is the budget. Now, you include the budget numbers there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what we need for that. It's not a problem. The big thing is, well, let me go down the list. So it starts with a mission statement, which it's standard for the BAB. Blasting Advisory Board was established to discuss and provide town council with recommendations and possible solutions to ease the effects of rock mining and blasting. So we gotta always harp on what is the intent of this committee is to advise the council. The next one is membership roster. And basically it's the three of us. We'll add on Dr. Bennett. The next item is budget and where the money went to. So in this example I have was lobbying and as a trip for 4 members, Tallahassee. So if you can get me what, I mean, I'll get you the additional expenses that we add on and then just give me the total of it. So I can add it to here. This year, I don't recall. Oh, I get, well, we did spend on the marketing assets. I don't think it was spent, anything was spent this year. Do you recall?
I don't believe so.
So there was no trinkets done. Then it goes into initiatives and events. So whatever events that have been transpired, I know there was a car show, we tried to participate in. There was the what do they call this thing?
Parade.
The parade, and the showcase for the, Miami Lakes Chamber of Commerce.
The Halloween. That was this year.
That was the parade.
Hmm?
The parade you're talking about,
Oh, the Halloween.
what we did for Halloween. It was a parade, we threw out candy from the cars. So it's essential, that, using this as a template again, that, and I mentioned this to be for future thought of what we have to look at to show our value, our worth for the town, that, you know, we're doing stuff. Unfortunately, this year I think it was pretty light, to say the least.
There's also less members.
Huh?
Also less members.
Absolutely. I mean, everything goes hand in hand, so we need to, and that's why I really like the idea of getting the high school involved. That's fantastic. Dr. Bennett used to be a professor, by the way.
I was a science teacher at Hialeah, Miami Lakes.
So I think he's a good asset.
During the off season, when I was between college and dental school, I took a year off to be a high school teacher, thinking it would be an easy job. I was wrong. The 12-hour days was only part of it.
After I left my job, my wife was like, become a teacher. You know, I'm like,
That's what my wife just told me last
That's what
night.
I'm telling you.
I was a teacher at the PhD level because I had my doctorate. Do you know what they paid me? $26,000 a year.
Oh, that's very, very.
Yeah, but that was from 1912, so it's okay.
Yeah, but exactly. Exactly. Well, it's good. Yeah, they could have paid me in pelts, I guess. But yeah, so, but I enjoyed, I made a lot of good connections. A lot of the kids were great, you know, I enjoyed it. You know, it's just, I had to get back to my real life. I just needed a year off from straight through college and dental school.
Yeah, that's good.
So presentations wise, there wasn't any presentations this year
First month. So
To the
I mean, counts 6,000.
in general, we give to the public. Marketing. Again, we'll go back to the trinkets.
Impactful display items.
Yeah. So there was an event, what was that one called? That they had at the,
Food Minds, the Food and Wine Festival.
actually, that was the 4th of July, no, the 4th of July
Fourth
event,
of July thing, yeah.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I remember.
You're talking about 2025, but 2025, you had a training. I remember when I first started, there was a training. I didn't get to go. But no, not a training, but like a workshop.
We had a workshop.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So then, what we got into was Lobby Tallahassee. That basically I went with Councilman Herzberg. And I typically give a list of all the, representatives, or elected officials. And a synopsis of what was done. It was days, so there was a lot of, networking, informal networking, if you will, in the event. I thought it was tremendous in that it was incredible. I had people coming up to me. I was sitting in the airport and I had people come in, Miguel, how are you? And I had no idea who they were. If somebody official, they had a logo on their shirt, but I had no idea what they were. But I think that's huge because they're knowing who we are. They know what we do, and you know, we're there with a cause and a reason. And people like that giving support, and I don't know who they are.
One thing.
I mean, I don't remember the guy's face. I
No,
know.
one thing politicians are very good at is names and, people.
Yes, which that's why I'm not gonna talk.
Remember Natasha?
No,
She
say yes.
knew everybody.
Yes,
And by first name, and she would walk up to some, in a room of 1,000 people, walk up and says, hey, Bobby, how you doing? Everybody's shaking hands and they're talking, I'm like. I said, well, how long have you known him? "Oh, I met him 4 years ago or something like that. Yeah, I'm not kidding. That is their superpower.
Yeah.
They really remember who they talk to and who they are.
That's why I'm not a good politician.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Tommy,
No, no shame.
I don't even remember who I'm married to sometimes, so that's that's another issue.
So it was interesting. It was interesting. And like I said, I'll give a synopsis of the events, the chain of events that were there. I have never been to Date Days and how that the whole environment proceeds. It was different. It was definitely different. It was exhaustive. It took about a week. It took me about a week to recover from that. It was exhausting. So then it goes into future projects and considerations. Things that we asked the council for, what we're planning, what we want to do. That's where this goes in. So any thoughts and ideas?
Relative to,
In general? Remember, this is the stance of the committee.
yeah. I mean, until the problem is solved, you know, we just gotta just keep working forward, trying every avenue we know. At this point now, is it the committee's wish that they just reduce the intensity of the blast, or what about compensation for damages done? I mean, what is the end game here?
My take is obviously the primary is reduce the intensity, period. The second wish is compensation and restore my property. Because I paid for it once, and if you come to my house now, what we restored has damages again. So,
Well, that's the whole point. So we have a two-pronged issue here. You know, three actually.
Three.
First, getting them to understand and accept that this is happening.
Right.
Two, to just reduce the intensity or change the method, you know, they don't use amyl nitrate, they don't use amyl nitrate anymore, do they?
Ampro. Actually, it's not even Ampro. Now it's a,
Something
mineral-
something doesn't make the benzene in the water table or
right, it's
something.
mineral
Yeah.
oil,
So.
food grade mineral oil.
Yeah, so, if, you know, they have a technique using high pressure water and actually slicing. You know, the pieces and then having to fold it slower, but there's at that point, there is no concussion waves. You know, but I mean, it isn't that much slower with the high pressure ones, they can actually cut the limestone sections.
But if they could lower the intensity, I mean, other mining industries, other mining companies are doing it and they're not affecting anybody.
Right?
The other three companies, they don't even get to the 0.5. They don't get to the 0.15.
Really? That's
Um,
even far and less.
It's
Yeah.
just about money making, do it,
Yes.
make it.
Well, if you were,
intensity.
every time they do a shot, they have to buy a permit. Which they cost money, I'm
Well,
assuming.
it's not just the permit, it's the actual cost of the shot itself. It's
Well-
$120,000 a shot.
No kidding. Drilling holes and packing it with, well, you again, Ampho, but no, it's not.
Yeah,
No kidding.
120,000. And I said, yeah, but you get 1.2 million, so.
Well, once again, yeah,
That's
that's
how
the
they-
ROI, but so if they can get 3 million instead of 1.2 million.
That's exactly what they're doing.
It's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, their ROIs increase. And the thing is, they're insulated from the damage caused. It's amazing. I mean, they could exceed it. And if they do, there's no consequences.
And then.
Any idea about bringing it back home to Miami-Dade County using the home rule laws and the Constitution? You know, the regulation of it, get it out of Tallahassee, bring it back here? Any action on that?
Well, Fabricio brought the DOA your cases heard here in Dade County.
That's something, I'm talking about actual home rule where Miami-Dade County's, the commissioners over there,
Yeah. I don't
you know,
where
get to go ahead and make the decision like they did before in 2000.
I don't like that. We're here for a reason, because they couldn't handle it, and then they gave it to the state. So that's
They don't want it.
That's not quite true. What happened was it became a hot potato. And the hot potato this was during Jeb Bush. And so what happened was, because they were holding the commissioners responsible because they were regulating it. And the commissioners said, well, you know, thank goodness that they sued. They moved to Tallahassee because now you can't just worry about voting out 13 commissioners. Now you're gonna vote out 56 representatives. It's not possible across the whole state. And, you know, over there in Yucca, whatever it is there, I forgot, Appaloosa, you know, they say,
Apopka.
what are you talking about? There's no blasting around here. What do I care? Apopka?
Apopka. And actually they have a mine there, I found
Now
out.
they do, yeah, I know. I saw the satellite of it. Cause
Um,
that was part of my flight. I use landmarks when I fly. You know, to make sure that my navigation is on and everything else, and all of a sudden my map wasn't syncing up anymore, and I'm saying, what is that?
which is something, worth mentioning, I think,
Yeah.
that may be worthwhile to pursue. Is on the West Coast, they're having issues now with CMEX. And
Mm,
CMS has expanded exponentially their mining operations. And it's causing some serious problems there. The
Hmm.
funny thing is this, the elected official that was the rep for the area, he's now become a senator. Fought against us and didn't want anything to do with anything, and now he's affected himself. Find that funny. So results and progress. I think the effects of percentage of knowledge and people that know what's happening. There'll always be somebody that doesn't know anything. And again, there's nothing we can do for that, unfortunately. We need to focus on moving forward, not pulling up the back. So I'll give a synopsis of what, you know, what results we've had, such as the trip to Tallahassee, how frankly, I wasn't aware of anybody that didn't know what we're doing, which is huge. And it's just so you understand, when we first went up to Tallahassee,
mhm.
it was, you know, who are you guys? What do you want? What is this about? We give information, and the second year we went up, it was like, we would go to an office and like, this is you guys.
And you can think
How come you have
that's Thomas Mauricio helped is what made it, put us on the
Yeah.
radar.
Absolutely.
Because his bills came forward and their attention, you know, perks up.
They woke. They
And
got
now all
woke
of a sudden they're saying, who are these people? and What are they doing? Because now we finally got somebody on the floor presenting a bill about it.
Right.
That perks everybody's ears up.
up.
So and we should
So it's
send them a tape.
interesting. Further, Hope Reynolds, the one that spoke, in the public comments, I don't know if you're on LinkedIn. Okay, she has a group, she created a group on LinkedIn of blasting. She had a lot of historical data. I obviously had newer stuff. Doc has some historical data as well. So she created a depository of all the old, or not old, historical information of the entire issue.
Correct.
It's pretty,
Oh, I get,
it's alarming.
yeah, like a history of the things that happened
Everything,
with
yes,
links.
with
There we
links.
go. Yeah. Yes.
So she continues to provide articles and write-ups, like our meeting now. She'll dictate on it, as you can see, everything of it. She also does the council meetings and, you know, she follows closely the Miami Lakes. But I think it's huge. She brought in outsiders from our area, in other words, from elected officials across the state, the media, Tallahassee Democrat, the Orlando Sentinel. All these people are following her and following and seeing what's done on this group that she created. I think it's huge. I mean, I can't thank her enough for what she's done and what she's created. It's, if you're not in LinkedIn, I recommend getting LinkedIn just to be part of that group.
Nathaniel was able to see it.
It's huge. I think who else? Oh, then the final thing is, well, the final thing. The next thing is committee attendance. I don't know, can you create an item, not an item, a list of vacancies, or not vacancy, of appearances, who's been here and who's not? Do you have that? And not, you have to give it right now, you know,
I
in an hour would be
kind
fine,
of
but
know what you're talking about, but I thought that you guys had that, so.
that's my question. Because Francesca's the one who is maintaining it. It's in attendance. So,
Mhm.
you know, when we're here, who's here and who's not? So as an example, we had 18 meetings
Mhm.
in my example. But 18 meetings, Al was present, 18 meetings. Francesco was 18 meetings. Edwin Orr made 17 meetings. It's just to give an attendance record of what.
I could look through all the agendas, because we have it stored. And then I could,
Make a summary on that.
yeah, I could just figure it out that way. There's
Okay.
probably a better way, but
I don't
I can
know
do it
other
that way.
other than watching the videos as well. so.
yeah. I can get that to you though.
All right, perfect. Any requests and consideration at this time for this example? There used to be a rule for committees that if you did not show up to meetings, you're allowed 3 missed visits. The third visit, you're automatically removed. They removed that. And it created a great deal of problems for this committee. A lot of people weren't showing up. And nothing was happening. We had people here that were missed 8 out of 10 meetings. It was a problem. So we couldn't meet quorum, and it was an issue. So we requested it at that time to reestablish that item. So I'm using that as an example. So if we have any requests or considerations for the council, now's the time to place it. So if you have any ideas or thoughts on it,
Everything's good.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's all you can hope for. I mean, I don't know how far it'll go. As far as, but isn't that more like committee rules more than anything else? Does it actually have to be by an ordinance or anything?
oh no, they changed it. I mean, this, I'm using this as an example because this is the time,
Well, I'm trying to say, did they change the ordinance in order to change the rules, or is this just some committee rules they changed?
they changed the committee rule on it.
They're for all committees, right?
Huh?
For all committees.
We call
For
it
all committees.
for all, yeah, just everybody.
Well, you can, yeah, I mean, at that point, if it's done with just a simple, hands up, hands down vote. You can just ask, one of the council members to say, hey, look, this is causing a problem, let's bring it back.
Right, well, no, I mean, again, this was an example. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
it's
you
just
guys
an
have any
example.
ideas to
Yeah, I know.
request?
Because right now we have 3, is it 3 or 5 days?
Three out.
Three.
You're. Now you have to speak to, the council member that appointed you, how it evolved. The council member that appoints you is to remove you.
Correct.
And that's how it evolved. But before what was happening is you would be removed, and the council member that appointed you would just reappoint you again, and you're back in, and then you start all over again.
That's the information I got. Like, if they get removed, you can just get replaced like it. So
So,
maybe you need a break.
right, so that was a problem. Because people were not showing up, then you don't make quorum, you can have the committee,
Yeah.
they reappear one time and they don't show up again.
That makes
Um, it was a problem. And now I'm going by recollection now, with the new regulations, if you're removed, you cannot reapply for 6 months. You're out for 6 months, so that cycle stopped. Which I support that wholeheartedly. I don't recall offhand all the other things that were attached to that new regulation, but they addressed it. So this was part of the support that we had, from back then.
Our committee was very succinct. We did a great job. I think about everybody showing up, and
Oh,
we did it. We met like sometimes twice a week to get everything done because there was an arbitrary deadline to get it up to Tallahassee that they knew we weren't gonna be able to make, but we made it. Didn't get there anyways, did it?
Yeah,
What type of things would you send? Like,
We had a suggestion, we have 5 or do we have 7 ideas of what they can do to improve the situation.
no,
None of them were onerous in any way.
yeah, no, it was.
I think we had 7 or
I think it
5.
was 7.
I think it was 7. And we sent it up to, at that time, I guess it was Renee Garcia, is that who we got it to? Oh, no,
No.
it went through,
Manny Diaz.
Andy Diaz, right, who's now is he chancellor over there at FIU or something?
He's I heard he's the president of university now.
Yeah,
I
something.
don't know
like
which one though.
that. Yeah, okay.
One of the things, as again, I'm saying this as an example, we're the only committee, and this is where it came from. To cease to override the resolution, the requirement of final attendance and training session. So one of the things that the mayor used to do it, Mayor Sid used to do it often, that he'd override any regulation, go ahead, you're in. And we'd have somebody come in, he'd be sitting there like, who are you? "Oh, I'm on the committee. And, I mean, in all due respect, and one thing that you actually watched the past presentations or whatever. You saw me, you gave a presentation, whatever. You informed and educated yourself. There are other people that would just show up.
Well,
Blind.
my house shakes, so you know, you gotta know how
Right.
to deal with houses.
And it's detrimental for the person and it's detrimental then to the committee. So we passed, for us, that you come to one meeting as a guest. And speak to me or speak to the chair, before being sworn in. So at least you have some sort of knowledge, you have some experience, you know what's going on, and it could be addressed informally. Because once you're sworn in, then it must be under, the sunshine rules that, we have to speak, regarding items of the BAB, has to be public, notice and all that. That's where it came from. So it was one of the requests that we made at that time. So if there's any requests or ideas or thoughts, now's the time to do it.
Like, right now, I have nothing, only because I like to see where we are with the mechanics of all this, but, my motivation was that they said there's not enough Miami Lakes, members on the committee, so I'm here.
It's appreciated.
I'm your token Miami Laker.
How about something to recruit members, I mean, as an advisory board? Instead of getting people to know about it, is to recruit members and be the right members, of course, to be in,
I'm
On
curious
the
to
town,
know,
from the town level.
yeah.
do you know who's the head of the PTA now? Gotta figure out who the PTA, president is. It used to be Rodriguez, it's not now, so, but I figure we go to the PTA with our idea about the schools, for a science fair project. That'll get a little more out there.
Cause there's an education board, right?
Yeah.
We can, once again, I mean, it's a little late now for a real full-blown thing, but we can start setting it up.
I
I think
think,
we'll get something out there.
yeah,
All right,
I like that idea a lot, actually.
that's the only thing I can come up with.
All right. So, I think we should create a date, for a special call meeting, so that we can present this at the next council meeting, which is what this is due. To see what's available.
Okay, so, this week, next week, any time frame?
No, give me time at least.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean from the 8th until the 15th. So, and I still have to attend a meeting. I'm bringing my Starlink with me.
Well, you're in the meeting now, so.
No, I'm talking about for the commission, charter commission
Oh,
meeting.
oh,
There's one they're having, and when I'm in the middle of the ocean.
oh. And next week I'm on jury duty.
Okay,
It's
then
next week. They call me.
we'll look a little further out then, yeah.
I was called. for
Yeah, the week of the 16th.
And so we sit
Week
there,
of
of course,
16th.
spending all day, finally, yes, we got.
Actually, the next council meeting.
Going there. And the first thing
Is
the
when?
judge said is there anybody here that knows the prosecutor, the defense, the defendant, or me? I raised my hand and I go, yes, Your Honor, I
23rd?
know you.
No, that's.
He goes, really? I know, he goes, I got you elected with,
24th,
I helped get you elected with, Nancy Simon. And he goes.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Is
nice
it
to
24th?
Yeah,
All right, so if that's the case, then we meet on the 23rd.
23rd.
So, we can just discuss it then. What I'll do is then I'll send it to you and you could send it to everybody. We don't have to have a special call meeting.
Oh, I said, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Here.
Do you want my email address for the record?
Well, you gotta go to Noah, huh?
It's up to you guys. I mean, I'm not on the board yet, but in case you wanna get a hold of me,
Yeah,
Yeah, I could take it down from you.
when you're ready, I'll give it to you.
I have your emails though.
I know you did, and phone number.
Yeah,
So when is that meeting? I couldn't hear, I'm sorry.
Looks like
the
it's gonna be-
24th is the meeting, right?
As a matter of fact, I happen to have a calendar right here. As coincidence would have it,
20?
the 20th, the 23rd is a Monday. In March, we're talking March, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That's a Monday.
Right, 23rd we meet. Is our meeting here, so the 23rd we can,
Oh, wait, I think the council meeting's on the 17th.
is it 17th?
17. RCM, I think
Oh,
that's
that's
regular
yes.
council meeting.
Yes,
Yes, my bad, my
Yeah.
bad. So we
Yeah,
did.
it's actually 17th, yeah.
and yeah, like I said, I won't be available the week of the 8th. at all, so I'm sorry I can't help you
And
out.
I'm on jury duty, so it's gonna, by default, has to be on the 16th then?
Yeah,
16th. The only, that day has a education advisory board at 6:30, so it'd have to be before or after.
much after because they, or way before.
So let me see when that end time is.
Is Francesca gonna be able to make it, or?
She better. I know where she lives, so.
Hmm.
So it'd have to be at 8 o'clock.
Is it a special call meeting? I'm texting.
Yes.
On the 16th?
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So on that day, we're gonna review that document. The final,
The,
that.
what I'm gonna create, yeah, I'll do it. You probably have for next week. I don't know exact date yet, but that's when I suspect. Okay. 8 o'clock, you said?
Yeah.
Right?
Shoes. Shoes. So picture this somebody took back.
Very cool.
Here's what this is.
There's an error here, this, for the next regular meeting on 8A is the 17th.
I have time to do the special call meeting and then on the 16th and then the 17th do the, because you need to do a report, no?
Yeah, well, no, I'll have the report completed and I'll send it to Noah and he'll give it to everybody. So it's just any final comments due on this thing. We'll update it that night for the following day.
Mhm.
Actually, not the following day. I have to submit it. It has to be submitted prior, no?
To look that up. I don't know.
Yeah, it has to be
think so. It
submitted
has to
prior,
be 2 days
so
before.
I'll look it up in the rule book.
I think.
it's gotta go to Peterman.
That's a good point.
Can I see the paper real quick?
Was that
Can I see the paper real quick?
this one?
Yeah. This is the one that you're gonna update?
Yeah, but that was years ago.
Can I take a picture of it?
Yeah.
But I cannot understand.
March 17.
Oh, in the,
The problem is, I don't know, I'm in jury duty the week of the 8th.
Depends if they call you or not.
Yeah, if they don't, if they call me. And Bennett's gonna be out of town.
it's 7 days prior to the council meeting.
Right, so
Just got it.
That means it has to be the week before the 8th. Which is next week.
right, so next week, end of next week, what's available?
I think it's pretty full. Next week, yeesh.
Second.
Second, third,
5th or the 6th?
the 5th and the 6th. The 5th, there is a Veterans Committee meeting at 6:30. The 6th, there's nothing.
All right,
So
the
the-
5th after the Veterans Committee.
Let me see what time it is. Yeah, they end at 8, so it'd be at 8 on the 6th.
No, that works for me.
The 5th or the 6th? 6th is the
5th,
Friday.
the 5th,
The 5th,
Okay,
yeah.
March 5th.
Yeah, because you said 6th. So, yeah.
Oh.
so March 5th. Okay.
Next week.
Yeah.
I'll put it in now so that they can get the room booked tomorrow morning.
So you have March fifth, eight,
Yeah,
eight,
also,
eight,
yeah,
You got
got a
that?
chance, okay, just bad timing right now. Shit.
and send a notice to Francesca if you can, advisor.
But that one doesn't count for her, right? Like, if she can't make it, that's like, I guess.
It's a special call meeting,
The more members, the
but,
better.
but we need to approve this thing, so.
Okay, I'll be here.
Alright. Hopefully Bennett will be
If I get
sworn
sworn
in by
in.
that time.
Well, I'm gonna be back Thursday, so if I'll come in early, I'll have her swear, Gina swear me in Thursday. Should be okay, just,
Alright.
we have to speak to, you speak to, Steve Hertzberg and that I showed up.
Yeah, I mean, it's all done already.
Okay, that should be fun.
Alright. So that being said, anything else, anybody wish to share?
Motion to adjourn.
Nada, you're good? Trevor, hold your peace. Officer,
A peace officer. Nice.
I don't wanna piss him off, so is it? Alright, we have a motion to adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
second, all in favor?